I guess we can start the stories demo then. Previous meeting we showed the renditions. That was one of the stories from this release, the 242 scope, and there is only 2 stories, and the second one is going to be shown today. That's Media Gallery ACL, Granulated ACL for Media Gallery. So I will share my screen and go to Magento. So here you can see the media gallery that is kind of a bit lost its functionality. So you can still search the Adobe stock, and you can even still license the image and view details of the image. But as you can see, like there are no way to upload the image to create the folder, even if we select the folder. So there is no way to delete images and use other functionality. That's all happening because I am logged in as a test user, and the scene with the test user is that media gallery test user role is assigned to this user, and that role has pretty much all resources except the new granulated resources that we have introduced. So in the same place under the content media gallery in the ACL roles, previously we had just media gallery, and under the media gallery there was Adobe stock permissions. And right now we added a bit more resources here. So that's insert assets into the content as a separate resource, upload assets, edit asset details, delete assets, create folder, and delete folder. So each of these operations can be managed separately. And by the way, I haven't checked this, but actually this user has the permissions to update its own role. So let's see if it will work without the relogin. I'm just curious. If we'll go back to media gallery, you can see that now actually buttons are active, so I can create, delete folder, upload image, and the context menu also has more buttons here, and the panels also have delete, edit buttons that can be used. That's basically how it works. I would add one more scene. So the ACL is actually in Media Gallery UI API module, the declaration, so that you can use the API module to reference to the resources themselves. They are enforced in the Media Gallery UI module, and Media Gallery UI module also contains the upgrade script that will actually check if admin user has the Magento CMS Media Gallery permissions, and if the admin user does, it will give all the permissions for granular actions. So basically, if admin user had the Media Gallery access, after the upgrade, all the child items like the granular permissions will be given to the admin. And if admin user role doesn't have that permissions, new permissions will not be granted. That will mean that like on the upgrade, nothing will change from admin user point of view in terms of permissions. That's it. That was a quite a short demo, I would say. Do you have any questions on this?
No, that looks amazing. Like, it's funny that I'm saying like degrading functionality for some user, it's amazing. But this is exactly what we wanted.
Okay, then basically, I guess that's it for today.
I have one question
to discuss here.
Yeah, great. So what will we do after the Adobe Stock integration pod freeze, and just when we will have not active development phase?
So the plan is to complete all the active development by the end of this month, actually. There is not too much things left, some stabilization bug fixes, maybe a bit more test coverage to ensure that the project is still keeping stable while we are not doing active development and it for regression purposes, right? And after that, like the repository will still be public, will be open for issues reporting, and will be open for the pull requests. Well, that's just the Adobe Stock integration, right? The media gallery that we are working mostly on the last several months or even half a year is in Magento 2 repository. So the plan is to move, like if we'll have some non-completed feature requests or low priority issues that will not be addressed by the end of this month, they will be that are related to media galleries. They will be moved to the Magento 2 repository because that's actually where the code is. And yeah, I guess the crew of Adobe Stock integration from community engineering side will also move to work on Magento 2 repository and help to process the volume of the pull requests that is happening in Magento 2. So basically we are stopping the stories development, the repository is staying active, and we are moving our forces to the Magento 2 repository because it really needs some more attention from our side.
Okay, nice. So, and I have two questions left. So the first one, what will we do if the Adobe Stock service will change its API or will add new functionality? So
well, the first thing, we'll hope that Adobe Stock will not change their services in backward incompatible way. If Adobe Stock does it, probably then we'll need to adjust our implementation, and somebody will have to adjust the implementation for Adobe Stock.
Okay.
But I hope that no backward incompatible changes will happen. Probably Adobe Stock can introduce a new version of API, and in this case, yeah, we'll need to plan and switch to new version of API.
Yeah, thank you for this answer, but I'm worried about the PHP version. So I think that the main maybe dangers for this application is in the new PHP versions, which will Magento support, but this library cannot be compatible with it. So I would say that it will be great to check the roadmap for PHP upgrades and maybe just and check how the PHP library for the Adobe Stock service compatible with it. So for example, in Magento in future, we will have the PHP 8 or maybe the PHP 7.7.24, for example. Yes, and this version can be and the Adobe Stock Service Library possibly will not work with it, and we will be in a not so good situation.
Well, first of all, I would say that the SDK library that we are using, current version requirement, PHP version requirement for the library is, as far as I remember, 7.star. So that's basically all the minor PHP versions on 7. If there will be a bump to major version, that, well, for sure it will come in some time.
Okay.
I don't know when. But I guess that it's our common interest to update the library. I don't think, well, hopefully
we will miss this. Okay.
There will be not too many issues with that. However, from my experience, I don't know about our plans, exact plans for dealing with PHP version upgrades. But from my experience, each time Magento updates the requirements for PHP version, all the projects are Magento also getting updated. So that's part of the maintenance of the project stage. So we will keep an eye on it. And both Adobe Stock integration and SDK is actually open source. So even if we'll miss something, like you can always
contribute.
Contribute and ensure that it will be ready for future upgrades.
Okay, nice. So, and yeah, got it. Thank you. Now I am just not worried about the future and the SDK library. Okay, and the next question may be from the not from the community, but more maybe from the business side. Is it possible to add the GraphQL or I don't know REST support for the next feature? For some businesses, allows customers to upload images, for example, for prints on products, or maybe for making T-shirts with images, and so on and so on. Is it possible to add some endpoints to use the Adobe Stock service on the front end?
I guess yes. That's
from the Magento side, from the box.
Well, the thing is that probably we'll need, if you would like to introduce that kind of API for the front end, you will need to provide the specific service for the front end, because basically what we are using right now is just login from the admin side. In this case, that will be login from the customer side, and I'm not sure how we would deal with API and secret keys. Well, probably the configured secret keys can be used if merchant agrees to use it. Olena, do you have any ideas around that?
I mean, that certainly sounds like a good idea for an extension. There is no plan for Magento product to implement that, because, like, obviously the use case is very limited to specific merchants. And from the technical perspective, I mean, I don't know like how challenging that extension would be in terms of the implementation, but my assumption is that Adobe Stock API should have some endpoints. It's just like a matter of how to integrate it on a storefront.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but that probably there should definitely be a different module if you are talking about the GraphQL APIs and the APIs for
but
the
we can use Adobe
customers.
The IMS module. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you can use the API even from Adobe Stock module to load the pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm not sure. That's probably worth take a look on the way how API key, secret key will be used. Is it suitable to use it for like open customer login, like guest customers and stuff like that? And are there any security issues related to that? That may be related to it. Okay, good. Then I think
I have a question regarding our previous meeting discussion. Like we have discussed that how we are
Yes.
going to handle the rendition image on the after upload, like how we are going to handle the rendition image. So have we got any solution for that?
Sorry, Shankar, I had a short network outage. I missed the beginning of your question.
Okay,
Just repeat it, please.
I was talking regarding I was asking regarding the previous meeting discussion, like we are discussing regarding how we are going to handle our rendition images. So have you got any conclusion regarding that?
How we going to
Handle the
do what
rendition
this?
image, like we are discussing.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, yeah. So the discussion from the previous
Maybe,
meeting.
yeah, I
Thank you
think
for
it's
reminder.
related to the previous meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we discussed like had a brainstorm with Elena and Eugene, and we decided that probably it would be best solution to make the most clear approach for the customer. In this case, we are going to regenerate the renditions as soon as the customer changes, or the admin user, in Magento changes the values in the system configuration. So basically, when you change the values in system configuration and you hit save, we are doing this the same way like we are handling the reindex or synchronization for media gallery. We are scheduling a job in the message queue, and it's getting executed, updating all existing rendition images. Also, rendition images are going to be generated when you add an image instead of when you upload an image. That's how we are going to limit the amount of rendition images that we are going to have in the media storage. So all these changes are actually present in the pull requests to Magento with the move of the modules. I will share the link to this pull request in the chat so you can see the implementation details and how it's actually going to work. So the main changes from the initial approach was just move the generation of renditions from upload to insert of the image and add the generation of renditions to the save of media of the system configuration.
Yeah, but have we checked that if it's going to create any issue with the performance? Like
So
like if you have like a thousands or 10,000s of images, and if someone changes the configuration and hit the save rendition, save configuration in store configuration, so
there's
it will going to take. Yeah.
yeah. I understand your question. That is the operation of regenerating renditions is performed asynchronously. So that will not hold the user and system configuration page. It will be done
Yeah.
as a separate job.
Okay, so but it's like in terms of like a technical point of view, the rendition images which are created, which are generated, uh, which is like if user is not going to use those rendition image, then it's just a useless, just occupying your like a hard disk. So is it like a issue like we are discussing in the previous meeting that if we are creating like a duplicate images, then it will like chunking the hard disk, like if you have like thousands of image and if you are generating renditions, then it can fill your hard disk like in just a moment if you have a limited hard disk.
Yes. So to address the space, so the change of the generating renditions actually is a moving of the generating operation from upload to insert actually addresses this issue as well and ensures that the rendition is generated only if the store needs it. So only when you insert the image to the content, the rendition is generated. When you remove an image from the content, the asset, the rendition is going to be deleted. So when you remove the asset as well, the rendition is going to be deleted.
But if we have changed the configurations, so then what's going to happen? Like if we change the size, width, and the height of the rendition image.
Only the existing renditions are going to be regenerated. So basically, the image that you have as a rendition will be updated with the new size. It means that, yes, in the content where this rendition is used, the image will be updated as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sounds like, yeah, it's a good solution. We can also have an alternate solution, like if we can regenerate the rendition on fly, like if we load a storefront or wherever the images has been used. And if it's like a quite big, then we can generate the rendition on fly and just save the image on the cache. Like this can be like a most efficient solution from my point of view. Like,
yeah, you mean by proxy? Using the kind of CDN proxy?
No, not proxy. Like if we have like adding a parameter like height and width, if the image is greater than the size of the rendition image, then on the page load, the image will get the rendition image will be generated and replace the image in the storefront.
Yes, yeah. That's. I guess that that approach might be possible with some proxies, but actually, I think we decided not to use that approach because that will result into the issue we just discussed about the number of rendition images in the file system. If we will support the parameter for the image, we will end up with lots of images on the file system, right? Because basically requesting an image with different parameters for width and height will generate a new rendition. And additionally, we will not know if this image is actually used in the Magento, right? In the content. It's just a request for an image. And we'll have to generate it and return it. That's if we are going to store the images. As for the second your suggestion to keep it in cache, like to generate it and keep it in cache, it resolves the problem with storing with keeping the space. However, that kind of exposes the cache for being like filled with lots of rendition images, and it will also probably decrease the performance, the initial performance of the cache generation. And considering that the parameters can be changed in a different way, it will be really hard to warm up the cache before actually go into production, because you don't know which parameters can be used for that image.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we can't use this storefront for generating rendition because we are going to move like every user has like different perspective. Like if some user is using PWA, then it's impossible to generate the rendition for that customer, like for that user. Like generating an rendition on a fly is like not a good solution. Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Well, that's let's say that's more agile and more versatile solution. In our case, we went with the basic, like very simple approach to renditions, keeping it conservative and keeping it like as much as we can under the control. So maybe you have participated in the discussions about the renditions on some meetings. Like a couple of months ago, we had different ideas on further how the renditions can evolve actually. but what we are doing right now is the essential thing, like just to address the really high images, that high resolution images that can stay in the media gallery, and to avoid having those images in the content, because they might not be even close web optimized, right? So with the current approach, we'll have somehow web optimized image in our storefront, and that's the solution. Actually, and that's the solution for the large Adobe stock licensed images that are not processed or optimized for specific stores for specific content by the designers. That's a basic solution that Magento admins can use without any help from outside.
Yeah. The current solution that you gave is the best for our case. Actually,
Okay.
I've seen I've seen the implementation of the thumbnail generation. Like if you see like the old media gallery thumbnail generation, they try to implement like they are generating the thumbnail on fly. I haven't checked in detail, but I saw that they have somehow they are generating some thumbnails on fly. So
You mean
so I thought
the
that it could
thumbnails for
be,
old media gallery?
yeah.
Well, yeah, the old media gallery is scanning the file system on the fly, and yeah, it generates the thumbnails as it scans the file system, right? And we are not doing this. We have the synchronization process separately, and we have so we cannot generate the assets and the grid on the fly, but in like that helps us to have the high performance grid with filters that we can use, and that and with all the functionalities that we have on the grid. That will be either not possible or really slow performant if we would work with the live file system.
Yes. Thanks for the explanation, sir.
Oh, thanks for your questions. Okay, guys, thank you very much. As usual, I'm always open for to talk to you related to Magento, not related in the Slack. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if you have any ideas. And yeah, thanks for participating. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks for participation in Adobe Stock project in general. That was a really cool milestone, and we are almost completed it. And looking back, I think I'm really happy with seeing what we have done, how much we managed to develop in not so long time, and basically how interesting and joyful this period was. I think that was really exciting, really exciting time. I hope that that will continue on other initiatives when Adobe Stock project will be switched to maintenance mode. There is still really interesting stuff that we can work on in Magento, and we'll see. Maybe there will be other cool projects around. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a nice day, and talk to you later.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye, guys.